The topic for this video kind of came at me just as I was thinking about AI writing, because I feel like most authors are not actually going to be using the techniques that I show in my videos verbatim, right? They're going to be, there's a spectrum, right? There is, on the one hand, someone who is using AI to write everything and hardly doing any editing at all. And on the other hand, there is someone who does almost all of the work themselves, but maybe hits up ChatGPT for ideation or something like that. Actually, the other end of the spectrum is someone who doesn't use AI at all. But within this world, those of you watching this video, it's really more of the people who are using it for some kind of brainstorming. I feel like that's on the one end, and on the other, they are writing the entire thing. And I show you how to do it all. Like, I look at each step of the process and I show you how to do it. But I've been very open to the fact that, for instance, writing story beats, for my own work at least, I tend to write them out myself. I enjoy that process and I think it's a lot of fun. And I get better results in the output when I do that. But if you hate doing the outlining, if you hate doing story beats, then by all means use AI to help with that part. And then write the rest yourself. It all depends on what you do. And so with that in mind, I want to kind of just take some of what I've got here and just give you a sample of what it might look like if I were writing this myself. So, for instance, we have the action beats here for the short story that I outlined in a previous video. And this short story, I took all of the prompts and the responses that I got from ChatGPT and from Claude, and I put it all inside this Atticus document. And what I'm going to be doing, we're actually going to be doing a lot of work with this short story in the future. Not so much in today's video, but I'll just give you a teaser for it. This is the prompt that I used to get the initial idea. And then here's the response. And then I have a chapter here from idea to synopsis. So I give it the prompt to get the idea to a synopsis, and so on and so on and so on until I get here to part 1, raw. Okay, this is part 1. This is exactly what Claude gave me from when I asked it using my super prompt to write part 1. And it gave me this little bit here. And it did rather well. But then I also have part 2 raw, part 3 raw, and part 4 raw. And then eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to clone all of these and edit them. And I will show you the process of editing. And then we're going to do a whole bunch of other things regarding artwork. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with some of the prompts that we had in the outline for this short story. And then I'm going to take that outline and write it, or at least write the beginning more or less the way that I would do it in real life. So let's take a look at this. I haven't really formatted any of this to look nice yet. That is something I will be doing eventually. But I gave it this prompt, and then here was the response. And we have part 1, A Vision of Dune. First line, in the midst of a fiery battle against the malevolence in Metropolis City, Tim, nicknamed the Foresight, gets a horrifying glimpse of his death just 10 seconds into the future. It's not really a first line, but that is where it should start. And so we're going to basically just start writing. So I'm going to add a chapter. I'll put it down here. We'll call it chapter, or we'll just call it part 1 experiment. I'm probably not going to keep this chapter in here, even though I am using this document to sort of document the entire process. And so I know we have this line. This is how the whole entire thing starts. And we did generate beats for it. So if we go from outline to story beats, we have here this little bit. Action beats, skyscraper peril. Amidst the sound of crashing buildings and wailing sirens in Metropolis City, Tim, clad in a sleek black suit, embedded with silver circuits, suddenly freezes. He sees a vivid version of himself being pierced by a fiery projectile from a malevolence weapon. The vision is so real, it feels like it's already happening. So that's the very first beat for part 1. All right. And so we know what's going to happen, but this isn't necessarily how I would structure the beat myself. So let's just say, I'll just start writing the beat, and you can get a sense for how I write beats. Tim, nicknamed Foresight, is standing in the middle of a rubble-strewn... I can not spell. I don't think that's correct either, but whatever. The city block. He has a splitting headache, which he has never experienced before, and he's experiencing a bit of mild confusion about what is going on. An explosion wakes him out of his momentary shock, and he remembers that he and his team are fighting the Malevolence. He immediately turns to face the explosion to see who might have set it off. And if I pay more attention to the outline of the short story as I was putting it together, I might know more about the Malevolence and the different team members on it. I don't, which is another reason why you should be overseeing these stories as much as you can. When suddenly everything goes white and he sees a horrifying glimpse of his death, where he is impaled with a long stretch or a long bar of piping thrown by one of the Malevolence. The vision is so clear, even the pain is real, but suddenly everything snaps back into place, and he has just a few seconds to launch himself out of the way so that the projectile pipe misses him. So this is an example of what I might put in the first beat. And this might be a lot for one beat. I might turn this into 2 beats. But you get the idea. This is how I write beats. It's very specific. I tell it what's happening. This is obviously not as much text as it would take to actually write the whole scene out. But you get the idea, right? And so I've got this beat. I could, if I had a whole bunch more beats, I could just put all of that into Claude and say, write the whole chapter for me. But let's say and I might do that because I don't particularly like writing the first draft. But let's just say that I would rather write the first draft myself. Let's say I have this beat and I just want to start writing. At what point does AI come into this? And so what I might do is I could take this beat and I would go to Claude and paste this beat in there and say, I am writing a story that starts with the following story beat. Can you brainstorm 10 different opening lines? And we'll see what it does. Let's see if it likes what I gave it, because there's some gruesomeness in there, and it looks like it is. Tim rubbed his temples, trying to massage away the splitting headache as he surveyed the rubble around him. Foresight was a fitting nickname for Tim, though it didn't help the sudden splitting pain in his head. I kind of like that. The crumbling city block looked somehow familiar to Tim, though his pounding headache made it hard to place. We'll just go with the second one. I would probably read through all of these, but we'll just go with that one because I liked it. So, all right, now we have an opening line. Opening lines are one of those things that I really hate writing because it's so easy to overthink them, and you really have no idea what makes a good opening line or not. So then I might just keep writing. I might write myself and do a little bit of a hybrid writing AI sort of thing. So let's just say it was a new headache, or no, it was a new thing, the headache. He had never experienced any such pain before on any of his other missions, but today seemed different. There was and then say I got stuck here. There was and so you could just say, I don't know what to say here. And so we could just take this back into Claude, paste what you have, and just say the above is the story I'm writing. Please continue given the story beat above. And so then it gives you, here's a possible continuation of the story. And then it just sort of continues off from where I left off. Now there are tools that will make this a little easier that will actually, you can just tell it to continue and it will do that. Sudowrite is one, Verb is another, and it does a really good job. But you can also do that just by doing this copy and paste job with Claude or with ChatGPT. But I do recommend Sudowrite for this type of writing if that is like you. Verb is also decent, but I don't know. There's something going on with Verb. They haven't really done much since they launched. And there are other tools coming out that I'm beta testing a little bit that do kind of the same thing. I would almost choose those instead. But the point is, it's reading what I already wrote and then iterating from there. So rather than pasting the entire thing and saying, write the entire chapter, you're giving it a little bit of your own input and then it continues on from there. And it gave us this is probably like 200 words or so, maybe 150. Actually, yeah, this has got to be at least 200. So let's see. It was a new thing, the headache. He had never experienced any such pain before in any of his other missions, but today seemed different. There was and that's where I stopped writing, fogginess to his thoughts that unsettled him. Still, through the haze, he could make out the telltale signs of his team's battle with the Malevolence, the rubble-strewn street, the acrid smell of smoke in the air. An explosion erupted nearby, and it's continuing on and on and on. So let's say we took this and said, okay, I like this, and we paste it into our document, right? And then we can go through and start editing it and fixing it up. So let's just read through this. An explosion erupted nearby, the shockwave nearly knocking Tim off his feet. The blast jarred his memory back into focus. So instead of this is a very telling kind of a sentence here. So, and actually, hang on, we've got all these lines on here from ProWriting 8. I'm going to turn that off just for the purposes here so it doesn't get in the way. The blast jarred the memory back into focus. It's a very telling line. And I want it to be a little bit more showy. Now, again, you could take this into Sudowrite and say rephrase and make it say show, don't tell. Very useful tool in Sudowrite. And I just recently posted an entire Sudowrite 101 video on what you can do there. But let's just say we want to fix this ourselves. It would take too much time to take it to the AI and make it more showy. And so we could add something like, he stumbled backward, his hand rests catching himself on a slab of dislodged concrete. Focus. He needed to focus. And I'm kind of getting into his deep point of view there. And what else can we put in there? In a sense, we're counting on him. Something like that, you know? And then you can continue on. He and his fellow heroes had been ambushed, pinned down by in this decrepit part of the city. They had to rally and find a way to gain the upper hand. Also still kind of showy. So I might edit this further and see, just get it more to my standards. But then this paragraph, shaking his head against the still throbbing egg, Tim whirled around to assess the source of the blast. Had it come from one of his allies, an errant strike by the villains? Before he could discern its origin, a vivid scene flashed through Tim's mind as real as if he were living it. He saw himself seconds in the future. Again, very telly here. Now, usually it wouldn't be this bad because I would give it a lot of instructions telling it to show, don't tell, and everything. And I can already tell you right now, this prose that it's generating is a lot worse than the prose I generated here for the in the short story when I was creating it. But you get the idea, right? I might go through, edit it. And the nice thing about this is, once I've edited all of this to my satisfaction, I could then take this into Claude and then say, here is what I've written so far. Please continue the story. And you can paste in what you've written. You could also say, here's what should happen next. And then say, Tim, let's just say, sees his death again, this time coming from a fireball launched from somewhere above. in the 10 seconds before Tim's death is about to occur, he manages to avoid death again by leaping out of the way. He is confused, wondering why his death is coming so many times in a row. And then you could just go from there, and it would give you the next bit of the prompt. And the nice thing is, because I fed it the bit that I've done so far, it picks up exactly where I left off, but it will also match my style a little better. And so what you can do is go through and just, as you're going along, your style and the style of the output that it gives you is going to be much, much better. And this is actually a great way for those of you who are pantsers to write. You can do it in this way. But also, if you're an outliner, you can do it this way as well, because you could still be following your outline and then just improving upon the prose bit by bit as it's giving you the output. And so this is just an example of a sort of hybrid way of writing. I can't really describe it better than that. It's the way I think most of us are actually going to write. We're going to have some form of hybrid interaction with the AI. And this is still very, strongly using the AI. You might be doing all of the writing yourself, and then you just get to a part that's like maybe there's some dialogue that you have no idea how the dialogue should go. Maybe you wrote some dialogue, but it just didn't feel right. And so it's in moments like that, you can just say, okay, we're just write a dialogue between these two characters. Here's what should be happening in the scene. And here's what I just wrote. You give it what you just wrote, and it continues on from there in your same style with your instructions. Or maybe you get to a fight scene and you're like, I'm really bad at choreographing a fight scene. Please choreograph this fight scene for me. And you give it the context, the text leading up to that fight scene, or at least the first couple of chapters, and then it choreographs the fight scene. Maybe it writes it for you as well. That's the kind of thing that I think most authors are going to actually be using AI for. Now, I am, like I said, I'm not going to keep this chapter, but I am going to just tease you a little bit for this entire thing. I'm going to be doing a lot of videos just documenting how I use this short story in a number of different ways. I think there are a lot of cool different ways that we could take this. The next video that you can expect on this specific short story, and I can't necessarily say when it's going to come out, but it should be soon, will be all about showing my actual editing process for these parts. I have the, part 1 raw, part 2 raw, and then maybe I'll do a couple of live streams showing you my editing process, because I want to get all 4 of these parts to a point where I actually am okay with the output. It's not bad to begin with, but I could just add a little bit of my human flair, and you can get a sense for what that does and what that looks like. I've already shown a little bit of it today, but we'll go a little bit deeper into that. And then we'll have more videos. I'm going to be adapting this to a comic book script, and then maybe looking at different ways that we could create a small comic book from it. At least a few panels so you can see how it's done. Maybe some other things as well. And all of this will eventually be available for you to download for free. It'll be a free addition to my signing up for my membership, which is still in the works. So don't go looking for it yet. But that will be something that we put together at some point. And if you join that, this will be one of the free gifts that you will get when you do that. And then you can kind of see the entire process from start to finish, starting with the ideas here, then moving from ideas to synopsis, and you'll have all my prompts and my responses that I did specifically for this project. And then you'll have the raw version of the short story, and you'll have the full version, the edited version of the short story. Eventually we'll put together a book cover for it, and I'll show you my process for doing that. And lots of fun and exciting stuff coming up. So I'm excited to share that with you, and I'll see you in the next video.